Fight fans, welcome back to Carl Prusa MMA. Carl Prusa back at it again. Here we are, Mr. Kevin Pease, top MMA prospect. Huge fight going down October 10th, headlining CFFC 147, taking on Ethan Pauley. He is Mr. Sweepy, Mr. Kevin Pease. Kevin, what's up, brother? How are you?
Good, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. We got a big fight coming up. Here we are, fight week, getting ready to mix it up.
Sir.
Back in the cage again. Big promotion. Get a headline this one. You starting to feel that excitement? You getting ready to do your thing in there?
I've felt it the whole training camp. This is the greatest opportunity of my career so far, and I'm so excited to get in the cage and just leave everything in there.
Absolutely, man. Coming off of a bit of a layoff here. Last time we saw you was August of last year. You got a fight in the PFL, man. What was it like fighting on one of the biggest shows in the world?
Incredible. The stage, the pageantry, the money, the fight week, everything about it, the step up. I could feel it. I enjoyed it. And then I got only maybe 3 weeks notice for that one. And then to just put on the war that me and Nick Meck had, it was awesome. And getting that experience was just incredible.
Absolutely. You know, you train at one of the biggest gyms in the world. You train at Kill Cliff down in South Florida. Got a bunch of killers.
Sir.
The Ritters in there. You got Darian Abbey in there. Bisinger's in there.
Yes, sir.
Guys. Robbie Lawler running the place with Henry Hoof. What led you, man, to Kill Cliff?
I went down there to help a friend of mine, and when I was down there, I got to meet Michael Chandler, who, was one of my favorite fighters. And I was starstruck, and we got to train together and get some good rapport. And he goes, man, this is the place you need to be. And I was like, I agree. You know, the coaching staff, the partners, South Florida is beautiful. The professionalism of the whole team. I really, that was maybe 3-4 years ago. And I've just, as a professional, it's meant everything to grow up in that room and develop there.
Absolutely. You know, you train with so many big killers, and, you know, so many people are watching this sport in this day and age, man. It's global. UFC almost every single weekend now. You got the PFLs, karate combats, you got your bare knuckles. Very few people understand what's it like to be a professional fighter. You know, when you're battling on the regional scene, you're not making Conor McGregor money quite yet. A lot of guys have those 9-to-5 jobs, man. It's hard to have a relationship. It's hard to have kids. You miss birthdays, weddings, Thanksgivings, dinners. You sacrifice everything, stay up late, wake up early, maybe for the chance to fight a big show.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for a while, man. You've experienced the highest that these sports have. You've experienced the lowest it's had. What's made you stick with this?
I feel like God put this sport in my path on purpose. I really felt a calling to it when I saw it, and all the relationships. You know, I met my wife because I was trying to do the sport. I met some of my greatest friends who were training partners, friends who were coaches. The people in the sport are really what make it. And I feel God's given me a gift with it to get in there and do combat. And I just pray and work towards using this sport to bring glory to Him, to help out my community, to help out my family, to help myself. And I love to fight. I love to compete against another man hand to hand, mano a mano. And there's no other feeling in the world than, you know, hand to hand combat.
Absolutely. You know, your grappling's been on full display, man. I mean, your wrestling skills are absolutely next level. For you, have you have a wrestling background before you got into MMA? Did that just come naturally?
I wrestled in high school. So 4 years in high school. I probably started taking it serious around my junior year. And when I started taking it serious, I really had a big jump in development, like from a nobody to a title contender and a champion. So when I saw that jump in those 2 years, and then I started getting wind of MMA, I said, I wonder if I applied myself in MMA the same way I did in wrestling, if not more, what I could do with it. And I've been very happy with my development. I've surprised myself with where I'm at in the sport, but also not surprised because I've worked my ass off. I love it. I eat, sleep, bleed it. So yeah.
Absolutely. You're actually managed by one of the best wrestlers we've seen in mixed martial arts, Mr.
Yes,
Daniel Cormier. He got his own team now, a bunch of guys under his belt. How did that relationship start?
So I met his boxing coach, Rosendo Sanchez, at UFC Nashville, actually right after my first loss as an amateur. And they invited me out to come train. Rosendo did. And um, we struck up a relationship holding pads. And then I ended up staying at his house. And so he's been training me since I was an amateur. And even though I moved to Killcliff, he is, I wouldn't be here without him. The opportunities he's helped me with, always believing in me, even when he had no reason to, and just his support throughout my career, it's invaluable. So that's DC's boxing coach. He's one of my closest coaches, and by proxy, we've developed a relationship. I got to do his last training camp for Stipe Miocic with him. And then as he's moving into this coaching, managerial role in MMA and stepping away from being a competitor, my coach Rosendo reached out to me and we got everything rolling, and here we are.
Absolutely. I've talked to a few guys that he's with on his team right now, and no one, they all tell me they can't still take him down. He's dealing with high-level wrestlers. No one can get DC down. Have you had any luck in practice? Have you been able to get him down?
He won't wrestle with me, but if you ever want to know someone who could take DC down, Andre Fialho. He's the man.
That's the guy? Okay.
That's the guy.
There you go. So you're getting ready, man, to get a headline this one, man. When you got the phone call that you were headlining, your name's going to be on the marquee with Pauley, man. Was that a pretty cool feeling?
It was great. I waited a long time. I worked really hard. I went through a lot of roller coasters getting to this opportunity in this moment, and I feel destined for it. Anything can happen, but to me, I just feel like there's no way I don't leave October 10th not the new champion and not getting my hand raised. This is what I've worked my whole life to do, to be a CFFC welterweight world champion. And I have a great opponent in Ethan Pauley, who gets me up in the morning, gets me up at night to go put in work nonstop. And, just another man signing a contract to try to hurt me is all the motivation I need to destroy that ever happening.
Just like you said, going for that 170 title, taking on Ethan Pauley. Overall, what do you think of him as an opponent here?
I think he's well-rounded. I think he's good. Clearly, he comes to compete. He's put a nice record together. I just don't think he's ever faced an opponent like me. I don't think he's ever faced someone like me. I don't think he's ready for the pressure. I don't think he's ready for the intensity I bring, the skill set I bring. And I believe because of all those factors, because of the competition level he's been facing as well, that when he gets in there with me, he's going to feel it and he's going to pay for it.
So, you're at a stage now, man, you're taking on top guys. Your past guy had a great record. Pauley, obviously a very good record as well, top prospect. To make it to that next level, try to be one of the best in the world. You think you need to be finding the best guys you can in the regional scene right now?
Yes, you have to. It's a fine balance, right? There's a lot of guys that make it who don't fight the best competition. But I believe me fighting the people I fought has prepared me for this moment. And I just believe between the people I fought and the training environments I've been put in all around this great country with the best of the best, that those things go in my favor. And that's why I continually get my hand raised.
Absolutely. Right now we're towards the end of Dana White Contender Series. I mean, going to week 9 tomorrow, last one next week. Have you been keeping an eye on that this week? A lot of guys, similar records as you this year on the show. Has that been boosting you up watching some of that?
I know I'm ready for that level, but I also believe all in God's timing. I plan on dominating my opponent October 10th and letting them know I'm ready for short notice in the UFC. I'm ready for Contender Series the next week. And if they don't give me those opportunities, well, I might just go try to take another belt in my promotion. So I'm excited for the future.
Absolutely. Do you feel that fighting is more mental than it is physical?
I feel like it's mental, physical, and spiritual. I feel like all those things come together, and if one of them's out of whack against the right opponent, it will show. And so I'm always trying to balance those things and keep those things, work on all aspects of myself in that way, my mind, my spirituality, and my body, to bring out the best competitor I can.
You know, one thing I love about mixed martial arts, man, is the disciplines, the lessons, the morals, the
Yeah.
guys that have who train in it gain from it. I've had guys on the show tell me when they start MMA, they're going to have bad rule. They weren't the person they are today. It created structure, guidance, turned them into the people they are in this day and age, the fathers, the husbands that they are, all this stuff. For you, how have you grown and evolved from being in combat sports?
Just the discipline, the structure, like you said, it brought to my life, the purpose it brought to my life, having something when you're a young man and there's all this crap around you that you can go and get into, and having an outlet that, people support you, people push you, people test you. It's not easy. There's adversity you have to overcome. And doing that since I was 15 years old, um, has been invaluable to my life. It's made me who I am. I feel like, yeah, it's made my life. So I want to give as much as myself to the sport and use it to help others the same way it's helped me.
So many people are watching this sport in this day and age, and now we've coined a term called the casual fan. Before I get into this, there's no bad fan for the sport. We need as many fans as we can get. But now sometimes you go to B-dubs, you're at the fights, you might hear twist them in the you-know-what. You read some stuff online, you hear some stuff. What do you take from it then the day? You try to have a laugh at it all?
It's like Floyd Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather seniors used to say, most people don't know shit about fighting. There's a lot of nuance in this, including myself. I've learned a lot and grown a lot by doing this sport. And I just hope the fans continue to, if they truly love the sport, go in that direction, learn more about it, understand it more. Just like, golfers get that respect, basketball players, football players, all these people get that respect from fans of the sport who are excited about it and want to learn about it. And I just hope we get that same respect as well.
So many people are watching in this day and age. And, for the most part, I think people understand what a fighter does in this day and age. They know you guys are training, trying to win fights, get in the UFC, trying to get bigger fights, win titles, more money, all that stuff. But very few people, I feel, see the fight outside of the fight. And to me, that's that fight not to clock in at 9 o'clock in the morning, clock out at 5. That's that fight to secure financial freedom. That's that fight not to live life by societal norms. You create a following, create a background, create a purpose, and live life the way you want to do it. Has that been a big part of your journey?
It has. All that sounds great. It's like I said before, the best thing about this sport in it is the people. The opponents that test you, the teachers that you meet trying to get better, the trading partners that push you to be better, people on the business side that might value or see value in what you do in the cage and help you out in other aspects of your life. So overall, just the people make this sport.
Absolutely, man. You mentioned the business side to it, and it's kind of crazy when you're watching it as a fan. You don't really realize that there's another element to this besides competition, but really, like, there's so many aspects when you look at it. What are you posting on Instagram? Who are you doing interviews with? Who are you fighting? Where are you fighting? Has this been a type of side that you just had to develop, like, to kind of consider? Did you see this from the get-go?
I saw it from the get-go for sure, but as I've grown older as a man in this sport and as I've developed in every other aspect of the sport, of course you notice, and of course you have to respect the business side of this game. They're not we're here to make money, and we're here to make money by taking it from the fans, and we got to give the fans what they want to see. So as a competitor, whether that's in the cage, giving them what they want to see, whether it's on the mic, giving them what they want to see, whether it's on the social media, giving them what they want to see, we're here to entertain, and we should all strive to do that.
You know, entertainment's really become a big part of the sport. And I think it's always been there to an extent, obviously, over the years when you look at it, you have your Chael Sonnens, Ken Shamrocks, Tito Ortiz's, Tank Abbott. I mean, we've seen this entertainment from the get-go, especially in the UFC. Obviously, Conor McGregor comes, revolutionizes everything. Now, literally, fights are now made on social media. I mean, you get guys calling guys out every single day. You know, you're a type of guy, you go out there, man, you're always looking for the finish. You're an entertaining fighter to watch. You have a natural personality, man. You're just being who you are. You're a funny guy. You're a likable guy. You have that charisma. Do you feel like you're going to be a fan favorite if you're not already?
I hope so. I mean, I don't care if I'm a fan favorite. I don't care if the fans hate me. I just want the fans engaged. I just want the eyes on me. I don't care what role people want to put me in. They like it. They don't like it. Who cares? I only care if God and my family likes me. But I hope the fans watch, and I do my best to make sure that they do.
Absolutely. You know, for you, what does it mean to call yourself a martial artist?
I don't know. It's a way of life. I've always thought of myself as a wrestler. I still feel like that 15-year-old kid that went to school and wanted to try something different and put on wrestling shoes. But just being a martial artist, being a wrestler, it's our job to represent the sport and the culture that has given so much to us, and it's our job to represent it in the best way possible. So when I hear those things, are you a fighter? Are you a martial artist? Are you a wrestler? I just want to represent the thing that's given me so much the best I can and try to reciprocate that to everyone in those communities.
Absolutely. All right. Before we wrap up here, one thing I want to do is I want to go through some big UFC fights coming up. I want to get your predictions.
Yes, sir.
Who's going to win some of these big
Let's
matchups.
go.
So we got a big one in October. Title on the line. You got Tom Aspinall defending that heavyweight championship. Cyril Gane trying to snatch it away from him. Who wins that one?
Tom. I think Tom's the best heavyweight. I think he's been the best heavyweight. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes down as the GOAT of heavyweights of all time. The guy's fight time is crazy. He's finishing everybody apart from injury. So I think he gets it done. I think Cyril's getting better. I think he'll give him some problems, but I see Tom walking through him.
You know, we got a big 185 headlining bout coming up. Got two guys that you've probably trained with. You got Brandon Allen taking on Rainier de Ritter. Who wins that one?
I'm going to go with Rainier. Just the tear he's been on, the level of activity he's been on lately, watching him in the gym, the work ethic, the down-to-earthness, the leadership. He's got a well-rounded skill set. He's good size for the weight class. And he has that white belt mindset. You know, he wants to learn from everybody. He doesn't care who you are, where you're at. If he sees something that can get him better, he's willing to do that. And in my opinion, those are some of the greatest attributes you can have as a competitor.
You know, in November, we got a huge show every single year, Madison Square Garden, New York. We got a super fight on there. We got Bullet Valentina Shevchenko taking on Weili Zhang. What a fight. Who wins it?
Ooh, I'm going to go with Weili. She got the pop. She's probably younger. I'll go with her.
All right, so we're going to end in your division. 170 title on the line. Jack Della Maddalena just got it from Bilal. Islam Makhachev moving up to welterweight, trying to get belt number 2 in the UFC. Who wins that one?
I don't know. That's the one I can't call. I'm so curious about that. There's so many questions. How Islam sizes up. How his wrestling translate. How his kick game, his clinch game can present problems to Jack. The speed, the experience that he has at lightweight. And then, I mean, Jack is an animal. He's beaten the best of the best. He's clobbered his way through the division. You can't just ice him out and go, okay, I'm a wrestler. Okay, I'm going to strike him. I mean, he finds a way to get fights in his wheelhouse, and he makes you pay, and he beats the hell out of you. So I really can't pick against either, and that's the fight I'm most excited to see coming up.
You know, we just mentioned some of the biggest marquee names in the UFC right now. You train with some huge names over at Killcliff. When you're watching the big fights, when you're around some of these big household names, Do you feed off of that? Does that boost you off? You get motivation from it?
Absolutely. It gives me motivation. It gives me respect for them to see what they go through. It lets me also see on a regular basis, hey, we're all human. We all got 2 hands, 2 feet, and 2 eyes, and what one can do, anybody can do if they apply themselves and do the right things. So seeing them gives me a lot of motivation. I get a lot of experience from those guys, picking their brains, asking them how they've navigated these situations that I'm coming up against and future ones I may encounter. So, yeah, it's been a blessing to be around the level of fighter I've been around, and it's added a lot to me.
Absolutely. You're at that 170 division, man, a division who's been one of the most prominent ones in combat sports for a long time, through the years. The Matt Hughes is in there, GSP's in there, Kamaru Usman's in there, obviously now Jack Della. It's a kill or be killed division, man. There's no easy fight in that division when you make it to the UFC. Does that excite you? Do you like knowing that you're one of the toughest divisions in the whole sport?
I do. I've always been in that range, even since wrestling. The 150s to the 170s. I mean, this is where the average man falls in, and the most guys are in those divisions. So, and because we don't have a 165 division, 70 and 55 are just extra loaded up. Lets me know how good I am. It keeps me up knowing that I got to get ready to deal with all these animals. But I mean, what more fun of a challenge than that?
There you go. All right, Kevin, last question for you, my friend. In a perfect world, what is the outcome Friday, October 10th, when you take on Ethan Pauley in the main event of CFFC 147?
Perfect outcome. I get in there, put hands on him, and dominate him to a finish. Make him quit, make him tap, get my hand raised, and get my belt.
Absolutely. Well, Kevin, man, thank you so much for taking time out of fight week. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to watch this one. I wish you nothing but the best, brother.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's it for us today. I'm Carl Peruzzi. He's Mr. Sweet Pea. He is Kevin Pease. Watch him, CFFC 147. Looking to get that 170 CFFC title. Take on Ethan Pauley. Take care, fight fans.